All right, guys. Okay, good. Okay. So it is the clans, and with clans, we had one question on Facebook Messenger, but I guess we can just go around and say what clan we are. And if you don't know, it's okay. Then you just don't have to say one. Or we can just ask each other first. So you're gonna have different ways. And Nachke, if you guys watched her video, she said it in 2 different ways. So when you're asking somebody, what is your clan? You know, you can say Jago Hiraki Karaj Washu Shanang, or you can say Jago Hiki Karaj Hija Washu Shanang. All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and I'll ask Khatap and then he'll respond. So Jago Hiraki Karaj Washu Shanang.
Chayaki Karach Waunungs. Oh, Jago Hiraki Karach Washu Shanang.
Oh, Chach Shabyaki Karaj Waunang Shanang. Nachke Jago Hiraki Karach Washu Shanang.
Hunch Yaki Karach wa Unakchana. I don't know who we got on here. Wakanjakiri. Jago Hiki Karachi Jan Washu Shanang.
Unahire Wangshik Yaki Karach wa Unakshana. Unahire Wangshikara Hochunk Wangshikara Hinu Wangire Shunu. Ego Hante Hinu Wanganang Shuna. Nunige Wangshik Hiki Karach Hokirajara. Ego Hochunk Wangshikara Nagijire. Egi Hirasa Hino Wonk Nang Shana.
Yeah. Wakan Jakiri Nahini Gire.
Dana Ruchgang Jago Hiraki Karach Wash Unaje.
Ruchge Hiki Karachi Jan Wash Ushanang. Was that right?
The ending would be Wa Unakshana.
Wa Unakshana?
Thanks, Shanae. George Gang, do you want to ask someone? We have Monique here. Inekimani.
Inekimani. Jagu Hiki Karachi Jan Wash Unaje. Wash Ushana, right? Is that wrong? Okay.
Wash Ushana.
Cha Yaki Karach wa Unakshana. Waning Roha Motahinga. Jagu Hiraki Karach Washu Shanang.
Hunchiki Karach wa Unakshana. Who else do we have here?
Well, we have Jasmine and Gregory. They're new. I don't know. Do you guys know how to respond or ask? And if not, that's completely fine. If you just want to listen, that's fine too.
Yeah, I'm just listening. So it would be, because I'm Bear Clan, so Hooj, Hoki Karach, and then what's the ending?
Wa Unakshana.
Okay, so Hooj, Hoki Karach, Wa Unakshana.
Yeah, you can say 2 different ways. Hunch Yaki Karach Wa Unakshana or Hunch Hiki Karach Ya Wa Unakshana.
Okay, Hooj Yaki Karach, Wa Unakshana.
You don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna listen the rest of the time though.
Yeah, that's okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Greg, how are you feeling? You want to give it a try or you just want to listen in?
Hey, sorry guys, just listening.
Okay, no problem. All right, Wakan Jakiri, do you have anything else or because we have a couple questions.
I just a quick translation of what I said. I said that I was Warrior Clan and our duties were to protect, a long time ago, were to protect the Ho-Chunk people. And that's what they still do today, but also that many people from different clans also protect and help our people in different ways as well. So that's a clarification on the translation of what I said.
He would again. Okay. So this is like for the group question. Do you guys use when you're asking, or what's the difference to you when you are asking somebody what their clan is? So when you're saying Jagu, Hiraki, Kadach, Washunanje, or do you guys prefer Jagu, Hiki, Kadach, Hija? What do you guys prefer, and what do you guys, I guess, use?
Well, I know when I first started, we conjugated the word hiki karach. So we would say hiraki karach, jagu hiraki karach. But through my years of being in the language division, somebody said to me, well, you aren't the clan, you are a member of the clan. So that's when you would change it to jagu hiki karach hija. So that's what I use now, just because it made sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Wakan Jakiri, Jago Hirare.
I'm glad for Dana to explain that, because for a while I was in the same boat where we conjugated hiki kadach to yaki kadach or hiraki kadach. And when I left language for a little while and I came back, and then people were saying it differently, and I actually didn't know why, but I'm glad that Dana kind of explained or elaborated on it. So.
Okay. Wanik, Jago Hirare.
Kind of the same way too, but and then with being an apprentice, we were with so many different speakers, so I just learned it different ways. So if I was with a speaker and I knew they said yaki karach, then that's when I would say yaki karach.
Right.
And, a lot of times, you know, you just hear the hiki karach hija or hiki karach ya. So then I just go both ways.
Yeah, Nishke. Khata, Jago Hirare.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat as Wanik. Yeah, Dana said it perfectly. That's a nice explanation. Yeah, I guess when you're an apprentice, you learn to adjust to the speakers around you, you know, and the ones who talk a certain way, you tend to speak the way that they speak, you know, and you know not to use certain words that they don't use because they prefer other words, you know. So I guess I'm just a creature of habit. I learned Yaki Kadach first, and I just, you know, and some of my speakers aren't here today, and I like to just to speak the way that I spoke around them, kind of like in honor of them, you know. So I tend to use Yaki Kadach a little bit more, and just because I used that around my other speakers for a while, and yeah, just the way that they talked, I always wanted to kind of keep that going. So I understand both ways, you know, and I just a creature of habit. I use Yaki Kadach, but I do explain the difference between, you know, the two, and what Nachke said. That was a good explanation, but yeah, I tend to use Yaki Kadach a little bit more, I think. So yeah.
Yes. Do you want to give us the explanation? What do you use the most?
When I speak, like when I'm not teaching and I'm just talking, I tend to go back to Yaki Kadach, Hiraki Kadach, just because, yeah, that's how my speakers kind of ingrained it in my head. But when I teach, I always teach Hiki Kadach Hija, just because that is more, I teach it as more quote unquote polite, because you're going to get the least backlash or whatever from doing it that way. So that's how I always teach it. But my students will catch me saying Yaki Kadach. And I always teach them like the he and ha, make the all those types of things. So they know why I say it that way. But I always tell them that Hiki Kadach Hija is just more polite. So Ho-Chunk manners, I guess. That's how I try to instill it in my students.
Right. Awesome. Rooch Gang. I know you were apprentice for a little bit there. What did you think?
Cause Hasoni is my teacher when we would go through the baseball, and she taught us both ways. But I just went off of what the PowerPoint said for this one.
Okay.
So I guess I really don't have a preference. I mean, I would say both, but I would have said the Yaki Karach is what I would have said, but
Yeah, and again, like either way is completely fine. All right, awesome. Peony Gigi. I'm trying to look on here. For those of you that have the Ho Chunk Academy, I'm trying to look for the message last night. Anything else about clans, you guys?
Did everybody get the vocabulary down? All the different clans? I know there's 12 of them. Anybody having problems with the Wonachi Newangshik?
Play Pictionary. That's an awesome way to try to remember your clans.
A little difficult to say.
Yeah. All right, so we do have a question. It says, how would you find out which one or which clan you are in? And this goes to anybody. So I guess, yeah, so you would find out, it would go by your dad, it would go by your Jaji. So like all my kids, well, Khadab, he is Deer Clan. So all of our kids are Deer Clan. And I'm Eagle Clan, and so I'm the only Eagle Clan. You guys want to elaborate on that at all?
okay, so then I feel like this would be another question that somebody would ask. What if their dad isn't Ho Chunk and their mother is Ho Chunk?
We also had to go through that as well. So I had my first son, Hikio, and his dad is in Ho Chunk. And so, Khadab, do you want to go on about this?
So yeah, so Hikio, I wanted him to get a Ho Chunk name, and my Jaji want to get a. He said, well, he can get named into either the Chief Clan or the Warrior Clan because they can take in, basically, get with the exact same situation as Hikio. And so I was like, okay, all right. And yeah, so we were kind of stuck, but I took Hikio as my own son, and I really wanted him to sit with me as he got older. And so the day of the feast, I was talking with my Jaji, and and he was sitting there, and he was like, hey, he's like, you know what, you know what you can do? Okay, so we have to find a warrior, and you can name him in our feast lodge, so then he'll be able to sit with us. So yeah, that's when I asked Jaji Richard, and I was so nervous, but I asked him, I tried to do it all in Ho Chunk too, and I sat next to him, and I was a brand new apprentice, and I asked him and if he could do that, and he told me kind of what the expectations would be of Hikio, and he'd be able to sit with us and pour with us and sing with us, and basically, but he would have a warrior's name. So yeah, so he Jaji Richard, during the feast, he got up and did that, and I'm forever thankful for him because it allows Hikio to sit with us, in our feast lodge. So that was one example of what we had to go through, with his mom wasn't Deer Clan, or his dad wasn't Deer Clan or anything like that. So that was my personal experience with that. So hope that helps.
Yes, thank you.
So I was talking to Choka Gordon Thunder, and we were talking about clan membership. And he said that, it does go by your father, but if your father is not Ho Chunk, then what do you do? And he took me back to the days of settlers. And he said that, sometimes the women had babies. The Ho Chunk women had babies with white men. And when that was the case, then those babies took on the mother's clan. So that's what he told me. So I don't know. It'd be nice to have our eminent speakers here right now. But yeah, so that's what I heard. And that's why I take on my my mom's clan, because my dad is white and my mom comes from the Bear Clan. So, I consider myself to be Bear Clan as well.
So Wakanjak Kitty, Wanique, or Hasni, do you guys have any experience in that? Or hear anything from any of your eminent speakers?
I would. Oh, go ahead, Nas.
Oh, sorry. I can't speak for a lot of people or a lot of groups, but when I was younger, that was a dilemma that my mom was facing because my father isn't Ho Chunk. And she was kind of told the same thing, that the warriors and the chief clan can take on kind of anyone, I guess. But when it came down to it, I was named with the Funmakers, and I was allowed to have my mom's clan as well. So my mom is Bear Clan, and I'm also Bear Clan. And so in recent years, that's kind of been more of a, I don't want to say a debate, but something that a lot more parents are facing. And so I would just suggest that you talk to your family and like your personal clan elders to see their thoughts on it, because they're there to teach us. They're pretty accommodating, like Khattab said. Even if they get a name from a different clan, they're pretty they understand that we're family, you know what I mean? And that we're obviously going to want to sit together, and we're obviously going to want to do those type of things together. So I would say just go to your clan elders and your elder family members and get it sorted that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, thanks, Has. Wakanjak Kitty?
I was just gonna say, from my speaker, I learned and other speakers as well, working with language, what Khattab had said about sometimes even people would, or the warrior clan or chief clan would name people, and a lot of times they would just end up sitting with us, But I had heard also from, I think, a couple of different speakers that that's a practice that goes way back to when our numbers were really low and people had to, not every Ho Chunk married or had kids with another Ho Chunk person. So those are, those go way back, those practices, and they're there for a reason. Kira.
Okay. Well, I'm Hunchi Kikarach. Okay. And I was named Ireja. The Lone Trees are Bear Clan. My Hianchara, he's Seneca, and Senecas go maternal. So I guess they just, they just took myself and my sisters as Hunchi Kikarach. So my kaka Puss White Lone Tree, she asked Jones Funmaker, because he was going to name us. She asked if our names didn't really have to be Hunchi Kikarach, even though we were Hunchi Kikarach. She wanted her name to carry on, and then her sister's names to carry on. So that's how I got named. It's not Hunch. It's I don't even know what my name is.
Juanito.
So I got my Kakalontries Rajada, and I'm really happy about that because you never hear about that name. Because a lot of times names are just kind of gets kind of carried on.
Right.
Nobody else wants my name, I guess. Huh?
Oh, Chad. It's a beautiful name.
Yeah, but that's kind of mixed up, isn't it? Yeah, I'm Hunchi Kikarach, but then, yeah, but I don't have a Hunch name.
Yeah, that's the same with me. But the difference with me is my choka was Chakshak clan. So my mom had Preston Wanakita name me. And so I went by my Choka's clan because my dad isn't Ho-Chunk. He is on Ojibwe. So that's how I got it. And then for my name, Maru Kadazi, it was from my Dega when he went overseas. And so Ma is the ground, Ru is with your hands, and the Z is like he used to like detonate the bombs or whatever it is, like making sure like, but it was all over the ground. And so it's like he was gathering all those bombs on the ground. And so my name, even though I'm Chalk Shep, like it has nothing to do with Chalk Sheps. I got it from my data that went overseas. So it's interesting, for sure. All right, well, it's almost 10:30 here. Do you guys have any other questions? Jasmine, Gregory, Inakimani, Booch Gang?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem, Greg. All right, guys. Well, we'll wrap it up and then we'll see you guys back here, Heineke, if you guys want to do some activities. All right. All right, guys. Well, it's nice talking to everybody.
Yeah, Nishka.
Okay. Shige, honey, chuck, chowie.
Joey.
Chuck, shall we?
Hey, Chuck Joey.
Let me check Joey.